Alright everyone, welcome to the ReBBL Playoffs, round of 32. This is... my stream title has not updated. This is Cheap Hat Trick versus Def Orc Glory. Apologies for the scramble and the fact that we're starting in the game, but the players decided to start like almost an hour early. And I've been scrambling since they said that they were gonna do, since they pinged me that they were gonna do it early to set up and get notifications out. So we have Fiction playing the Necro, the Cheap Hat Trick. They have 13 players, a minus AV, block guard, mighty blow, Wraith, and a regular block guard mighty blow Wraith, fresh fleshy block guard mighty blow flesh golem. They have a blodge sidestep tackle mighty blow werewolf, and then a plus AV blodge sidestep tackle werewolf. In addition, they have a fresh ghoul and then a sure hands blodge sidestep ghoul. They have one dirty player zombie, a frenzy wrestle kick zombie, and then a wrestle zombie. Meanwhile, for Zach36993 playing Def Orc Glory, looks like we have two inducement players, bringing us to a 13-player team. We have two big unblockers with block, two with block mighty blow. We have a guard plus movement blitzer, a guard. Come on, game. Is it strip ball? Guard strip ball blitzer, I believe. And then a tackle mighty blow guard blitzer. Is there a blitzer off the pitch? No, there's only three blitzers for this team. Unless I'm missing one somewhere. Looks like we have no thrower. We do have a goblin. And then it is a wrestle lineman, a block lineman, block plus agi lineman. Oh, we've got our first injury, and I haven't even covered this player yet. Is that a regen? That was in fact a regen. So that guy is fine. He will come back. And then on the bench, we have a minus armor tackle lineman, a fresh goblin, and right now sitting on the bench is Bomber Dribblesnot, who is rapidly becoming an infamous player. That is a second removal on the LOS, where once per game, if a bomb is caught, he could just make it explode, which makes him, along with his accurate passes, makes him very good. In addition, we have Ripper Bolgrat, a movement 4 strength 6 troll, where once per half they can choose to reroll any single die excluding armor value, injury, or casualty rolls. So interesting. He also doesn't have really stupid. Yeah. So he could reroll the loner, he could reroll the block die once per half. Both players have free rerolls. Let's see, what other inducements are we looking at? Cheap Hat Trick looked to have a cheerleader and a coach rostered. Yeah, and I believe the only inducements are the star players. Yeah, so that is the rundown of both teams. We already have 2 removals, one of which has regen, one is KO'd. Zach seems to be taking an extremely aggressive approach. And I do not like this at all. Because this werewolf can just blitz into this blitzer. And then they can foul this blitzer. And then your movement 7 guard piece is gonna die. Or he can blitz into this. I personally would have blitzed into the blitzer because that's a high value piece and I'm greedy. But maybe the movement was awkward. It may have been awkward to move around to the correct spot for that blitz. But this zombie has a hit. He gets a knockdown anyway. This is probably going to be a foul. So yeah, Fiction gave up basically no position to generate this foul due to how aggressive Zach was with this blitzing option. And he was not punished for it, other than the fact that he has his guard plus move piece just stuck in the middle of nowhere. Not a lot of guard coming out of our orc team. I feel like at least one of these big ones should probably be guard instead of mighty blow. So Zach may find it difficult to generate blocks if he turns this into a scrum. He will, however, be happy to trade an orc lineman for a flesh golem for basically the entire game. So with that trade, you may see him try to come down the side, maybe blitz this wraith, and take up this position. Oh no, he's going straight in. Are we gonna see the once per drive reroll? No, he's gonna take the push. Should be note that it is a single die, so it'll only reroll one of the block die if he chooses to use it. He is going just straight in full orc coach mode though. Strength 6 here. It's already marked. I already got a guard beside it. He's got this guard kind of tied up. This guard is tied up. It has the free pulse off. So this isn't like the end of the world. We may just see the cage move over here. No? Okay. Trying to turn this center fight into a mosh pit and maybe win out on this side. It does successfully cut off this guard piece fairly well from the rest of the team. The first block is wrestled down. So the Mighty Blow Werewolf is on the deck. Fiction potentially concerned about a foul soon. May have to try to position to protect that. Fiction's just thinking, trying to figure out how the heck he deals with this strength 6 piece that's now in his face. I guess this is one thing, is like, because it's not on your team permanently, and this is a star player, you just throw the strength 6 into a mosh pit, and you don't care if your opponent knocks it down and kills it, because it's taken their entire turn to do that. I suppose that is a way of looking at it. Generates a chain push here. Generates an injury off this random rock. That is unfortunate. This is just a badly hurt. So if he apples this, it will come back, but that is a real early apple. Opts to use the apple. And that's a pretty important piece. It's one of your few guard pieces. But this is what I was talking about when I was concerned about how aggressively that guard piece was positioned. Yep, fleshy block into the lineman. That was... That is unfortunate break. That is a KO off the first block. That is... unlucky. Yeah, and then... Plus Edgy Werewolf just dodges away from Ripper. We are seeing Zach just get torn to pieces. Fiction's just punishing this aggressive positioning. Getting a foul in as well. That's another KO. Yeah, that was a brutal turn. Orcs are now down 3 players in 1 turn. That's just astounding. And then, yep, first action, Loner Blitz. What? So on my screen, that looked a lot like he took the skull. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but he very clearly took the dodge. But on my screen, that looked like he took the skull. Yeah, I'm not sure about this Ripper Blitz because it doesn't really do anything for his positioning. Like, he blitzed the werewolf, and even if he got a POW on this werewolf, like, how does that improve your position this game? Generates a Mighty Blow POW on the werewolf. Sidesteps down there. I mean, falling into this is just a free 2-die. Werewolf does not break. It feels like, to me, Zach needs to just move down the field immediately. But he's committed Ripper over here. He's committed an additional player here to make this block happen. Feels to me like you need to get out of this drive and hope that and get players back on the pitch. Hope your KOs come back so that you don't have to use Bomber. But maybe you would want to use Bomber. Now he's moving players forward, but he has less players than I would like to see down here. And this big one needs to be using his full movement to position. You bring this big one here, this big one like probably here? This is not forward enough. He had what, another 4 squares? Come like here? 2. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Surely you could have gotten in scoring range that turn. And this isn't jump up, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go for it. You could have gotten this big one up forward here, this big one here, and then This guy goes forward another, I think he had like 3 or 4 squares left, and you GFI. And I think that would be... It's like a super aggressive play, but I don't see any... I don't see how Zach scores from this position now. He just doesn't have the players to push forward. Like, you can try to side switch, since like Ripper is here, so you could like blitz into... You could knock this guy down and blitz into here. Bring all these players off to this side, and maybe that gives you some position. I don't know, Zach is just in a rough spot. Thinking through his options, deciding what his path is. But like, surely you can't come down here, because even if you sideline screen, like, he's gonna just swamp you, and you're not gonna be able to get through next turn, right? Blitzing into the Wraith in the center, which was neither of the options that I thought was gonna happen. So I don't know what's the plan. Yep, we take the Ripper block into the zombie. Ultimately doesn't do anything. But we do stay. So Ripper is free to move next turn unless Fiction opts to mark him. It feels like we're gonna have to move over here and use Ripper as a cage corner. But then all the other cage corners are based. This is the other problem with that seems questionable to me. Because this is, right now this is a 1-die. Can he generate a 2-die? 1, 2... Yeah, he's already doing it. So this Wraith is gonna come up here, it's gonna make this block a 2-die from this zombie, and then this Flesh Golem is gonna blitz that blitzer. And he might move a werewolf over to cancel this assist. Fiction's presumably checking ranges and deciding what is the most efficient way to do this. Canceling that assist, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just trying to figure out So, ultimately had to commit the plus agi to this, ultimately had to commit the plus agi to this spot in order to generate that 2-die. Not what he would have preferred, but Fiction's gonna be happy with just being able to knock the ball down and just swamp this. Magnet Hands does not quite catch. Reroll that with Thinking Menstrual, do it. Lame. I think you go for that 1 in 6. Because otherwise I don't see how you hold on to the ball next turn. Yeah, it's just everything is getting blocked now. opts to stay put there, limiting what these biggins can do. And the Mighty Blow Werewolf just picks it up on a 4+ and dodges away on a 3+. This is looking rough for Zach already. It's like, how do you even touch this? Because this is stand firm, and that's the only real chain push option that he's given you. So that's not gonna work. Yeah, all these players are stuck. It's a Agi 5+ dodge shrew from Ripper. Yeah, you have to like knock down this flesh golem and then like Agi 5+ it shrew. It's probably the only path to hitting the ball. Well, I see what you guys are saying about like he's an orc and it's hard to have sympathy with orc coaches in this format. I'm having difficulty finding sympathy for him because he's just way over aggressive. He just based everything. Oh, we get the knockdown on the flesh golem. Are we seeing a Ripper dodge shrew YOLO play? Like, the other alternative is, like, we one-die blitz this zombie lineman, and if we get a knockdown, we have a pass-through to mark the werewolf and force a 3+, or at least a blitz. No damage on the Wraith. But I think you might have to YOLO play this. Opts for the much more boring play. So I don't like doing it this way, because now the player that you're marking with is a strength 3. If I were... I also wouldn't have followed. You block and you stay in this square to mark this flesh golem, if you're doing it this way. Because then all these players are marked, and it forces the 3+ dodge as opposed to the 2-die blitz. What? He's just gonna go this way, and then you're out of range, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go for it. Leaps over the down player and is now marking. That is an Agi 2 orc. He leaps over the down player and now he's marking the ball. Okay. I mean, you blitz here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 GFIs. 1 GFI gets him out of range of this guy marking. And then I think 2. Uh-oh. That's real. I think 2 GFIs gets him out of range of everything. Okay, no. He is still within range with this big end blocker. But we can put a Wraith over here to force dodge triggers. Just put this Wraith here. And it's like, it has to be like a 5+, 4+. Okay, or we'll just do the screen. This also works I don't like it though. I would have rather put this Wraith one square back and left the werewolf in play. Cause sure, you're giving up a mighty blow block on your best player, but at the same time, that's a double one away from this big and blocker being able to blitz the werewolf, and then both the werewolves are on the floor. So that is like the one world where you don't get to score this drive. And I don't like creating the one world where you don't get to score out of that position. That might be the first jump over of this playoffs. I haven't seen all the games. You may be correct though. That might be the first successful jump over of playoffs out of an arc, which is hilarious. I mean, do you just blitz this werewolf and then hope you knock it down so you can GFI to force those dice here? It's like the end of your turn. Generate another injury. It does regen though, because Necro have the anti-fun skill. And it's a zombie. Zombies always regen. Not positionals though. Zach, working through his options, is opting to just sort of menace the ball. Ripper blitzes the flush golem, knocks it down, is going to free up 2 more orcs to run in this direction and menace the ball. The only problem I have with this is Fiction doesn't really mind scoring. Because it's not his drive. If he's... Heck, if he's... They're down 2 players, there was 3... 3 are off the pitch. If Fiction can generate one more removal, there is a world where he forces Bomber Dribblesnot onto the pitch. It's not exactly likely, especially because the Mighty Blow Claw is the one that has the ball. But, I mean, I don't see Fiction feeling bad about scoring. It gets him a bunch of zombies back. And he goes 1-0 up in his opponent's drive. Which is why I would have opted to try to blitz through this or this, and then GFI onto the werewolf. Fiction weighing his options though. Looks like he is setting up for a blitz into this Mighty Blow, into this guard strip ball with the plus Agi Wolf. Gets a push. Does follow up in the guard. Uh-oh, double skull, that's a reroll used. Gets the knockdown though. Generates the injury. If all 3 of these KOs stay out, I believe Bomber Dribblesnut is forced onto the pitch. So the question becomes, does Fiction come over here and try to stall another turn? And hopefully generate yet another removal? Looks like he's opting to stall for another turn. Doesn't feel particularly threatened. Kind of looks like Zach's only option is going to be like a 1-die Palfish into a Blitz. Yep. Fiction is just knocking down more stuff. Does he opt to mark Ripper? No. No reason to even interact with Ripper right now. He's not relevant to the play Fiction cares about. So the question now is, how does Zach prioritize? he could hit this werewolf with tackle, mighty blow, and try to injure it, and then mark this wolf, and just say if you roll a 3+, you roll a 3+. He could bring this guy over here and try to 2-die Palfish, and then run through with this Black Orc and try to knock down the ball. He could just take a bunch of blocks down here and hope he generates numbers for next drive. He is taking at least one block down here. Does not break the zombie. So the question becomes, what is Zach's play? I feel like, personally, you mark with Ripper, take the block, and then you move the tackle piece at some point to try to be on this player, just to try to stop dodge. He's blitzing with Ripper. Goes for the 3-die. Is he going to use Thinking Man's Troll? It is once per half. He uses Thinking Man's Troll, turns it into a both down. That is not useful for Ripper. Grab does cancel out the sidestep on the werewolf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go for it. So 2 GFIs and this big one is on the werewolf, and he's forcing at least a 3+. You can put tackle on this werewolf, which means that he's risking. He at least forces out a reroll of the werewolf if it rolls a 1. That's. I mean, you generate an additional block, but I don't think it does anything. Okay, never mind. It does. I don't know. I feel like I would prefer the tackle on the werewolf, because the werewolf dodge into 1-die is Fiction's. Well, the math is weird here, because like the 1-die is just 3+, but the potential for injury is on the other guy. But this is also a 2+. Okay, so he's 2+ing. What? He takes the 2+, doesn't do the 1-die blitz. I question this. Like, yeah, sure, you have 2 werewolves there in case it fails, but that was. I feel like if you take the 2+ dodge, you're doing the 1-die blitz, right? Especially because you can blitz in such a way that you push into a 1-die follow-up. Because otherwise, why would you take the additional roll instead of just dodging off, if you're gonna dodge off anyway? I don't know. Fiction is a very strong coach, and he's in playoffs, and I am not. So there must have been a reason for it. 2 KOs came back, so the bomber is not forced onto the pitch, which is a bit of consolation for Zach. It should be noted, I believe, yeah, Fiction has set up correctly for the 1-turn throw. Personally, I think the flesh golems probably should be a square up, if I remember the arc correctly. But I'm okay with this positioning. Because Ripper is a 4+ passing threat, 3+ throw teammate threat that doesn't have really stupid and doesn't attempt to eat your player. Unlike most trolls. Don't put the goblin there. Put the goblin 1 square forward, please. Thank you. One thing to note, I personally... this position's fine. If there's perfect defense, you're kind of screwed no matter what when it comes to this, so it's fine. Plus move Blitzer in the back, add you Orc closer forward because you can't pass anyway. This makes sense to me. Yeah, that's fine. Assume your opponent's gonna try to cheat the ball to the side and back away from the goblin. I feel like I would have the plus movement further to this side, personally, but that is... Is that a max scatter? That is a max scatter. Which means he went center field just to not risk giving the ball to the goblin, and it still scatters all the way. 2, 3, 4. If the ball stays in, I don't think he can give it to this goblin, but if it scatters, the ball goes straight to the goblin, and that's real bad for Fiction. Fiction, considering whether breaking this line to move players over here is better. He's opening up the left side throw. Huh. I don't understand this at all. I guess he's protecting from this Mighty Blow Blitz, but he's just opened up this entire space for him to throw the goblin into. I feel like I probably wouldn't take these blocks at all, but I can understand why you would feel pressured to take the blocks with Mighty Blow to try to remove some of the zombies. Especially because Fiction doesn't have a deep bench. And move Ripper forward 1 square and throw. But yeah, I don't like this perfect defense. It just left this entire hole for if that's scattered out. Especially because Ripper removes... Oh no. Oh no, that's a GFI. I mean, I guess he has 2 rerolls, but... I don't know. I don't know if I'd trust it. But at the same time, I guess we are in a position, like, he's 1-0 down in his own half, relying on a throw teammate score, that if... Like, normal Blood Bowl probably doesn't save you. So take the risks, take the chance to hurt your opponent while you can. That is unfortunate. He makes the reroll, makes the landing. It is now a 2+ Whiffer team reroll. And he scores. Possibly a bit of a mistake from Fiction there. Opting to protect his players from Mighty Blow Blitzes, causing just a big hold for the Goblin to land in. You guys say it's surprising, but let's be honest here. Is it really that surprising? Is a 4+ pass, is a 4+ throw teammate, a 3+ landing, and a 2+ rush. Like, it's not as bad as you think, because the big thing with Throw Teammate and why it's so hard for orcs to do it is because their trolls have really stupid, and they roll to eat the goblin when they throw it. That's 2 rolls that Ripper removes from a Throw Teammate. This is not that unusual. Yeah, Ripper doesn't have those 2 pluses. And Ripper makes it even better. He didn't have it this half, but once per half he can reroll any die. That includes the Throw Teammate. Ripper is really, really good at Throw Teammate plays. I really like Ripper. Like, he's kind of expensive, but he's strength 6, and he's incredibly good at Throw Teammate. Yeah, so now we're going into turn 8. Zach is setting up here to try to prevent a 1-turn push play. And it's looking real hard for Fiction to accomplish it. He probably can get it set up. It's just a question of, will it work? Because obviously you can't hit Ripper because he's strength 6. So you have to come in here, hit this orc, and then push out this way and end up amongst all these orcs. So their handoff is always going to be hard. T-Self, that's fair. You can't do anything about the scatter of the goblin. But at the same time, he's still significantly better at Throw Teammate. Fiction weighing his options, deciding if he wants to go for a blitz or if he's going to try to go for this 1-turn. Looks like he's wanting to go for the 1-turn. At least that's what this particular front build is starting to look like. Thinking through his options, thinking through what he has to do with the Frenzy. So you block here, and then you Frenzy push here, and then into here. And then you have to fill this square, right? I've got to be missing something about how. Because I believe he needs 3 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go for it, go for it. 1, 2, 3. So we need to get the werewolf onto this line of orcs. So we block in here, push to there. We follow because this square has to be filled. Frenzy block, push there. These 3 squares are filled, so frenzy block, push to there. Okay, so then this orc fills this square, and then you move a zombie here, and then there's... Yeah, so then... Yeah. So you fill those squares and then you can block with this guy. No? I'm misunderstanding something. There. Push. There. And then the follow-up block. These 3 are filled, so it goes there. The enemy is there. Which means you would have to hit from this square or this square. Or this square. Which means you would need this square filled. So you block here. Yeah, that's why he's blitzing with a guard. So you block here, and then you block this one. because this one will be guard assisted, and you push this orc into this square. So then these 3 squares are all filled. And then you put a zombie in this square, which means you block here, and you push into the werewolf that'll be in this square. And these 3 blocks are filled, so then the werewolf goes to presumably this square and pushes this orc this way. So then you have your movement, and then it's a 3+2+. Go for it to score. It is a long play. And it is a lot of actions. And not the least of which is that the werewolf has to get the ball, and he's going to be in 2 or 3 tackle zones. No matter what you do. Kick is kind of deep. So that's going to be a pass. That's going to be a handoff. Possibly a pass. It's like a handoff into a pass there. Do you do it first, even though you're in 2 tackle zones? Because the alternative is that you're doing it with multiple others? That's bad. I mean, you gotta re-roll that. Because I don't think there's a way to fix it. He does not get the push. The one time that you want pushes. And he had set this up perfectly. He's got it all figured out. That really sucks. And I don't think there's no way to fix it now. That's unfortunate. I was looking forward to see it happen. And to be fair, Zach has set up this one-turn defense really well. Like, he's maximized the difficulty it was going to be. Well, that orc is just wrestle KO'd. T-Self is saying it's either a less than 10% or less than 5% one-turn play. Which lines up, because it was going to be, like, blocks. And then a pass into tackle zones. Foul is not good. 3, 4. Put in guards, so we have 6. So we can 1-die with Mighty Blow block. I feel like I would have been tempted to do the 1-die first, and then that would either maximize the assist on this orc, or if it was a both down, I could have fouled Ripper. I think that's the only thing I would change about this turn. Pass fails. So, we are going into the second half. It will be Fiction's drive. It will be Fiction's drive. We're going into it 1-1. Zach has expended his Appo. His 1 orc doesn't come back. That's not a big deal. The only player he is out is a KO'd Wrestle lineman. We will be seeing Bomber Dribblesnot come onto the field. As a reminder, this is a passing 3+ bomber with accurate, who, if you catch the bomb once per game, he gets to explode the bomb automatically. So we'll probably see him throwing the bomb directly at the bomb. Or this plus agi werewolf. Possibly both. Fiction, on the other hand, has his entire roster available. Because all of his KOs have come back at this point, and all the injuries that happened to the zombies regened. One thing to note, both players are now below 4 minutes of reserve time. Fiction burned a lot of reserve time setting up that chain push one-turn play because it was fairly complex. And even here on my end, with no pressure to actually win the game, it took me a while to figure out the correct play and sequence of actions, let alone to set up. Fiction very quickly deciding to not try to one-turn this, because that would be madness. Now the question is, do you even engage Ripper? Looks like he's opting to engage Ripper. I feel like I would stick a zombie on him and then walk away from him. 4, 5, 6. So with one more assist from this guard, from this guard piece, and then he has a 2-die on him. Fiction deciding where he wants his pieces. Is there a world where he blitzes Ripper with the werewolf? Surely not. High kick. Presumably this ghoul will go under it. He might opt to put the other ghoul under it. Does not do that. I would be half tempted to put the other ghoul under it, assuming that the only way that he's gonna hit my ball is throwing a bomb at it. But immediate injury on an orc. So that is a block lineman immediately injured and out of the game. Zach is now playing with 10 pieces. One of which is a bomber. Yeah. Unfortunately, with both the bomber... Uh-oh. Okay, he's now playing with 9 pieces. That black orc is KO'd. I was about to say that unfortunately, because of his team build with, like, these linemen that matter, and having Bomber on the pitch, he had to put a Black Orc on the line. And then so he puts the least valuable Black Orc on the line, and now it gets removed. Just a push there. Is he gonna foul Ripper? He is fouling Ripper. Ripper stays on the pitch. He is stunned, however. This is a really juicy bomb, though. Like, you just throw it at this Wraith, who can't catch the ball because he has no hands. And then, it explodes. You probably just take this Mighty Blow hit with the big unblocker, and then you just throw this bomb. Opts to engage and put guard into the position. Blitzes the Flesh Golem, does get a knockdown. Pushes it. Maybe trying to push Ripper up and out so we can't get fouled again next turn. Because that would remove Ripper from the bomb AoE if you were to throw it at the Wraith. However, this is a flesh golem, and so Fiction is deciding whether or not he wants to stand firm. He does opt stand firm. If you mark this zombie, you can do this. Yeah, you can do the same play this way. Oh, because there's guard there. So now you can. Doesn't do that. Okay. So the one thing I don't like about this is that zombie could have exploded from the bomb, and so you potentially have one less hit. Throws over and past Ripper, does not hit him. Does knock down 2 players, doesn't injure any of them, no removals. So my play would have been block here, push into Ripper, Ripper comes up here, and then you just throw the bomb at the Wraith that has no hands. Because then you hit all 5 of those pieces, and the Wraith can't catch the ball. So there's no risk of having to use things. This zombie does have Frenzy, which is kind of funny. Looks like we're gearing up for another Dirty Player foul into Ripper. That's another KO. This is the other thing I don't like about this play, is it committed a lot of resources into base contact, and now Fiction just once again blocks all the things that you put in base contact. And if you're giving him this many blocks, he's gonna find removals eventually. Zach is now down to 3, 6, 8 players, one of which is a bomber. It is still not over because we've seen it before. That's not good. Ripper is now off the pitch. There's a lot of strength gone. But we've seen it before. The bomber dribble snot can just flip a position entirely with one good bomb. We get a Mighty Blow knockdown on the Turbo Zombie. Do not follow into this. You are a madman if you follow into this base contact and give him just a free block on you after all this. Puts another piece in the base contact. Fails the foul appearance roll. That is unfortunate. So there's now 2 pieces in base contact that are going to get punched next turn. Are we going to... A longer pass to just drop it on a wolf. Short pass accurate. What are we waiting on? Oh, we're waiting on the Flesh Golem interception. He's deciding if he would rather try to intercept it with a Flesh Golem, and what happens if he rolls a 6. It could potentially blow up this zombie and... What just happened? Successfully interferes on a 6. And then fails the intercept catch, so the ball scatters over here, and then explodes this Wraith. Bombs are very silly. We do just have a blitz onto the ball. Oh, that's why he was bombing here. Was he wanted to cut this square out. I understand now. Surprising positioning mistake out of Fiction. Not catching the plus move blitzer. I wonder if it was the correct play to re-roll that, but at the same time there is a plus IG werewolf here. even if you find, if you roll the 6 to knock down the ghoul, like, it's just a 2+ for him to pick it up with the werewolf and leave. Just a push. Follows up to the left. Skull both down, finds the knockdown with the reroll. So does that mean we're taking the ball to the right? Because surely this isn't your cage. Yeah, we're taking the ball up and to the right. Probably a wraith here. Like a zombie here. So like zombie here, wraith here. Werewolf here, just to cut off. Well, he can't really get around this side because he's knocked down. That's right, the fleshies also don't have passing, and neither do the zombies. It's being pointed out in chat that the majority of the Necro team doesn't even have to roll the pass, or if the bomb blows up automatically to stop the pass. Like, uh-oh. The ball is surely safe in this position. Fails the GFI, stuns himself. He's trying to GFI onto the bomber to make this throw worse. It is a bit of a long pass to drop it on the ghoul. Blitzer making his way back is now menacing in the backlines. Bomber could drop a bomb here to try to knock these players down, free these guys up to go do something. He could take a longer pass and drop the ball here or even on the ghoul itself. Try to knock down the ball. I feel like I would have moved the plus agi werewolf somewhere first before trying to GF around the bomber. Just a small efficiency thing. Knock down the wraith. I'm not entirely sure the blocks on this side of the pitch affect field position at all. We do KO the wraith, so that is a nice little removal. We got a knockdown with Mighty Blow onto the ghoul. The ghoul is fine. I feel like those blocks are the least important on the field, though. So I'm not sure I would have taken them this early. Oh, we are throwing the bomb. The bomb is a 1. We fail the reroll. Bomber explodes himself, and the down wraith, and this block, this big one. No armor is broken. And this is the problem with bombers, is sometimes they just don't work. It was a short pass. So it was just a 3+, he just rolled a 1. And now that the bomber is on the pitch, Fiction does not feel any fear running up here with the ball. Yet another break. It's just a stun, but that's fine. This will probably be the blitz into this Mighty Blow tackle blitzer. Can this guy get to the ball? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. Yes. So that's a 4, 3, 2+ to 1-die the ball. Just a both down there. Fiction, considering the reroll, I don't hate it. I understand why he doesn't reroll that, right? But at the same time, this is a 3+, 5, 6. That's a 3+ to 1-die the ball with tackle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. 3+, 2+, 3+, 2-die with tackle. I am unsure if that is better than just the 3+, 1-die. removes the zombie, but again, these blocks, these risks of turning over, they just don't affect the field position. Like, sure, you can bring this Black Orc back and you can mark this Wraith or be in position and force him to mark you next turn. But I feel like I'd rather be taking risks to gain actual field position towards the play. Makes the 3+, opts for the 1 die, does not knock down. Does he use his final team reroll? Reminder, this is overtime format. Doesn't use it. An interesting decision there. So the option is you use your reroll to knock this ghoul down, hopefully. And then you go into overtime with 0 rerolls. The alternative is you save the reroll, but if Fiction scores with this ghoul, you may not go into overtime. So, an interesting decision there. Bomber dodges out, is now in position to throw a bomb next turn. I feel like he needed to GFI to like this square to put a tackle zone here, so that this is not a 3+ dodge with dodge. Because as it is, this is a 3+ dodge with dodge to 2-die into a 2-die surf one of the best players on the Orc team and clear the position for the ghoul to advance and just score. So I think a 2+ GFI was probably a good choice. Fiction opting to not play aggressively. Not going for the score right now. Generates an injury on the plus move guard Orc. Oh, this zombie has frenzy, so this zombie can surf. Doesn't get the push, so he just knocks down the Orc and pins it to the sideline. I forgot that this guy has an additional surfing threat. So all Fiction did was maximize. He isn't playing aggressively. Falling back, opting to burn more turns. Just doesn't feel any threat from Zach when he has this many players removed. Zach is now down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, one of which is the Bomber. And now he puts 2 players on Bomber Dribble Snot. So what is your play if you're Zach? You can move this big gun over here and sort of menace towards the ball. Okay, he's going to blitz, GFI blitz this werewolf. Doesn't knock him down. Use that reroll. If you're gonna reroll, you're gonna reroll the 1 die last turn. Does get a follow-up hit on this werewolf. Doesn't opt to mark the scoring threat. Well, one of the scoring threats. There's a billion of them right now. Potentially trying to keep this blitzer from being surfed by this zombie, but at this because he really wants players to stand up, but at the same time, if that guy gets surfed, that's real bad. A 5+ pass over to this werewolf. He does make the 5+. Interferes. The bomb explodes and only stuns the Mighty Blow Tackle werewolf. Opts to stand up the blitzer and dodge him through on a 4+. Fails, but he's no longer pinned to the sideline. So that's a good start. Stunning this werewolf is pretty good. One less claw mighty blow block this turn. Fiction now having to weigh his options. He's probably just gonna side switch. Come over to this side. Screen out the biggins. I don't know. I don't know what his choice is. He's gotta get forward though. Doesn't necessarily feel under threat right now, but at the same time, you do have to get forward because you only have 2 more turns to score after this. Does look like he's opting to try to just get on the other side of these orcs and just side switch. Yeah. The only scary bit about that is that Bomber is here, so he could just throw this at you. But at the same time, he could just throw that at you regardless of where you stand. So there just comes a point where it's just like, well, I just have to mark the Bomber and get a bit away from him. Opts to dodge out and blitz the Bomber to knock him down. Does take him down. KOs him, so he removes him from the pitch. And now this werewolf can take his final squares and just get this big end blocker truly stuck. So now the only way through are 4 or 5 pluses. Well, actually, this guy's plus agi, so this is like 3 plus, 3 plus, 1 die. But that's not a play either. Knocks down the zombie on the side here. Doesn't really do anything for his field position, but it frees up this blitzer to mark something. It's not like Zach has a lot of options. I mean, you could take the 5 plus 4 plus 2 die. I don't know if you use your reroll here at all. Well, if you don't use your reroll, you're not downing him at all, and then you're not going into overtime. So if you, no matter what play you're making to hit the ball, you absolutely have to use your reroll. Does knock down this ghoul, so this is a 3 plus 2 plus. Adds an additional 1 die, which knocks down this flesh golem. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Makes the 3 plus 2 plus. Only a push, I would reroll this. Because he's just going to sidestep closer and then blitz you off the ball. I would 100% continue reroll that for the Powfish. Because now he's in scoring range, and this guy's going to push you off, and he's just going to come up here, and now you're never going to touch him. So it's like, you have to use reroll, and you have to use your reroll, because otherwise you're not going into overtime. So you won't have your reroll in that overtime format regardless of what's happening. Yep, and then just come down here, blitz him off, push him down. Stun, but stun doesn't really matter. And now the ghoul's just gonna run up here. Yep. Down, doesn't matter. I think the only player that can reach is him. Yeah. So the only way he gets this splits is 5 plus, 4 plus, 2 plus 2 plus 2 die. That is the only play to hit the ball. This guy sidestep, yeah, because there's no way to generate pushes without using a blitz. And also, this guy stand firm. Sidestep, sidestep. That's the only play is you click this black hook, you click the ball, and then you throw your reroll at it. The blocks here don't matter. The only blocks on this side of the pitch that happen are adding the chance to double skull. Okay. I don't like any of these blocks, but sure. Fail the. Why would you not use your last reroll? You don't even have a player that can reach him next turn. What? Oh, I see what it is. He's saving the reroll because he wants Ripper to come back. If Ripper comes back, he can reroll the handoff or the landing. I don't know. It's a 4 plus. You're relying on a 4 plus throw teammate to even get to the throw teammate. Is it a 4 plus? It is a 4 plus. That's risky. I feel like I would have used my reroll like 5 turns ago, like 3 or 4 turns ago when we were up here with the ball, one dying it. But yeah, his thought process is he saves the reroll. Hopefully Ripper comes back. Argues the call to try to save Bomber. Bomber is sent off. Ripper does not come back. So that is the game. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think saving the reroll for the Ripper shot was the play. Especially because Ripper has his own built-in reroll. So the only thing that you would be really re-rolling is like pass, handoff, landing, which are all 3 pluses. Or not pass, pickup, rather. So yeah, so there's no 1 turn now because there is no Ripper. So that is the end of this game. Commiserations to Zach, and congratulations to Fiction. Fiction will be moving on to play against the winner of Too Ugly to Be Blocked and West Texas Pink and Blues. I will not spoil that game, but it has happened. If you have not watched that game, it was cast on this channel. The VOD should be there on this channel, and I will be uploading it to YouTube shortly. Kickoff is good, and yeah, Zach is just lined up to take some mighty blow hits because it's the only option he has left. It should be noted, something I've failed to point out before, because I believe I just saw it. Yeah, there's a kick skill in play. Yeah, so there was a scatter into touchback when kick was still in play. Oh, another zombie, finally injured. Regens again. We are 100% on regen. I think that is 3 for 3 now. Yep, all those guys are fine. So this orc is presumably going to come back here, and we might see a goblin pass? No? What? That was all just a risk to hurt yourself. It's turn 16. I'm confused. I don't know what this does. Okay, and now a black orc begin. He's gonna try to pass it to this goblin. Uses the reroll finally, makes the pickup. So it is. The biggin doesn't have pass. The biggins don't have passing ability. Okay. That was an interesting game. I feel like Zach was just too aggressive and just put too much into base contact, which led to Fiction just removing a bunch of players. Because if we go back to this game, teams lists, how many blocks did Fiction throw? MVP on a Wraith and on a big unblocker. The good MVPs on both sides. %90 on dodge. That's a bit much. Especially because I'm pretty sure he wasn't only dodging with the plus Agi Wolf. 75% on KOs, but I mean that's just one over expected right now. 44%, that, I mean, this basically the same, correct? It's just one side or the other. Here we go, statistics, that's what I'm looking for. Block actions. 49 blocks. I feel like I feel like Fiction should not have been allowed to get 49 blocks. Admittedly, there came a point where Zach didn't have the ability to prevent blocks. He just didn't have the players to stop it. But that came off of just giving up so many extra blocks to begin with, in my opinion. But that is just my opinion. I am not in playoffs, and Zach made it to playoffs. So he clearly knows something that I do not. Now, that has been the ReBBL Playoffs round of 32. If you are interested in more playoff games, there are more playoff games literally today. Let me bring up the calendar. So, we will be seeing Masters of the Universes versus Relatively Legal Weapons. That will be 7 p.m. Central, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away, assuming that they don't decide to play early, like this game did. That will be cast by that will be cast by Puppet Justice on his channel, presumably. with all that said, if you've enjoyed this cast of me speaking nonsense for, what is it now? Like an hour and a half, um, do give me a follow. I will definitely be casting more playoffs as things go on. And yeah, that has been me. Bye bye.